Rachel. How's it going? What you working on today? Finally getting some time to do some art? Or are you still being boss lady over the weekend? Cleaning? Oh man. I avoid cleaning as much as possible. I feel like cleaning's work, so I prefer to clean during the week instead of on the weekend. Yeah, hopefully. What do you think you're going to try to do when you go into the studio today? And try to record something or do some personal arting? I'm going to see if I find another image I want to take a picture of and print for you guys. Are you still unpacking your studio? Or you got some more like organizational type stuff? Oh, 3. Well, come on then. Let's get these edited and up on the tube. Some of these I can't really remember why I pulled them out. A lot of these are so random. Black dress. Was that up front? I don't know how far I was flipping before I saw you write that. Oh wow, unpacking and organizing. Wow, I kind of like that. Now these are just like magazine clippings that I have yet to organize. I kind of like that, but I don't know how well that's gonna turn into black and white. I want to try something. A lot of these pages that I pull out of magazines aren't always about the faces and they're not always about the models. Sometimes I pull them out because the texture on the fabric or the greenery, the foliage is interesting. It's like that background's really interesting. But so is the model, so don't know about that much when I use this for, but Flo! Yay! Hi, Flo! Thanks for jumping on. Hi, Louise. I saw a page. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, let's see how well I can turn this into black and white. And see, this is another example of the texture. Like, I don't, that's not what I picked this page out for. It was the brick background, the wall, the brick wall. That's why I pulled this page out. It's always interesting to see how the black and white's gonna pull everything out. So let's go ahead and pack this up. Maybe I'll take one more. Ouch, one more. I just love this model's face, the faces she makes. I don't know which one. And of course Zoe, she's gorgeous. We'll do Zoe. Okay. Hello to everyone who's joining. Okay, so we're gonna do, I think we're gonna try these two first. So, usually, well, this time when I made this one, of course, I took a picture of her with my camera. I mean, not my camera, my phone. And then I have an app on a program on my Mac called Pixelmator, and I use that to change it from color to pure black and white, no grayscale, because that can take away from, how well you can see through it when you have those gray areas. So you want pure black and white. So if you have a program, Photoshop, maybe even your phone, if you have an app that can change pictures, you want to pick whichever filter will turn it into black and white. This woman right here, I actually don't know her name, Flo. You know I'm bad with names. Rachel, yeah, I love these containers. They're perfect for, I don't know, it's the scrapbook containers. I guess it fits. I know it doesn't fit 12 by 12 papers, so 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11 size papers. So they're like my little project cases. So I have maybe like 4 of them, and they're supposed to be for projects, but I have so many projects I can't have enough cases for all my projects. So I just use it to store. One, I have the magazine clippings. Another I have just deli prints that I haven't figured out what to do with. But yeah. So yes, Pixelmator on Mac. And they might even have it might even be for iPad and iPhone. I'm not 100% sure. But I would be willing to bet that a free app like Snapseed, so let's try that out. With Snapseed, it's best to take the picture with your camera first and then import it into Snapseed. So let's see here. Take a picture of this, and then let's see if Snapseed has a black and white option. Black and white. That's not gonna work. You might have to look for an app that will change it into pure black and white, but because you need that high contrast. Oh, it's not too bad. Let's see. Not sure what that does. This actually might not be a good picture because of her shirt being white. I need some shadows in there. Well, we'll see. We'll play around with it. So usually I take this and send it to my Mac. And waiting for it to So, Rachel, you looked out there and Pixelmator has an app for iPhone and iPad? Okay, it's on my computer, so I'm going to open it really quickly and drop it in here and print it. Before I do that, I guess I'll show you these. So I have to peel one of these off. Actually, this is what I'll do. Start from scratch. So I just use a regular piece of printer paper and where'd it go? And then Scotch. Let's see if we can see a lag here. Yeah, I think Pixelmator for the Mac is like $20 or $30. It was totally worth it. But I use Scotch Create Repositional Glue Stick, and it's really, really light tack. So it doesn't rip the deli paper when you pull it off. And someone asked me on my Facebook page if it works for tissue paper. And so I tried it out, and you have to take your time pulling it off, but it definitely works. This is printed on tissue paper. So I'll use tissue paper again, just so we have enough to compare and contrast how well they work. So just make sure you get the edges with this. It smells great. It smells like eucalyptus, mint, what's the menthol? Mint, I don't know. Smells minty. And it's like a stick of Vicks Vapor Rub. And it says to wait 90 seconds before bonding it with something. So we put that on there. Let me make sure. Get all that. Hello. You don't even color by numbers. Stop. But you did make your little herb garden and framed some pictures, so you have your skills. Hi, Darlene. Let me know if this video is lagging. Once again, YouTube is telling me it's not receiving enough video. I don't know why it keeps doing this to me. And yet it's saying I have an excellent connection. So while that's drying, let me pull this picture up in Pixelmator. I will, I might have to record a video just so you can see how it works in the app. But let me find the picture. There it is. And in Pixelmator, there is an effect called threshold, and that's what you use to get the contrast. And this picture, we'll play around with it. It's not too bad. It has its own effects here. I'll just print it out just so you all can see. I'll use the paper that I already have. And I save it just as exported in Pixelmator as a JPEG. You can print from Pixelmator, but it overrides some of the printer settings, so it's easier to print to a page or whatever if you print directly from the image instead of from the program. So I'm going to save this on my desktop, I guess. And then I'm going to pull it up. Today, thank you. And I'll print 2 to a page. I always like to have 2 because I'm always afraid I'm gonna mess something up. So that is what I'm going to do. Yeah, that should be okay. And the printer that I use is a really old HP LaserJet. It's an HP LaserJet 1012, and I have to have it hardwired, plugged into the computer. So that's why I have to have my laptop on the desk with me here, because I have a short leash. Okay, so this is it. Flo, you lost your stencils? Oh, goodness. Thank you, Louise. I'm so glad. I try. I try not to ramble. I try to make sense. But if you have questions, something you don't understand, please feel free to ask. I don't mind going over it again. Flo, you can do you just talking about like regular paint on canvas? Definitely, you can do that. I think you should try that. Super easy. Yes, Flo, you know I do not DIY for others. So this is it right here. And the best thing to do is to flip it over. Oh, that's right on top of there. Okay. Flip it over and to pull the paper up. That way the deli paper doesn't curl. So just pull like that. And this is still, even though it definitely doesn't look like it, and it might not even really feel like it, this is definitely still tacky. Let me get some deli paper. Oh, well, we said we're going to do tissue paper. Right? Have some right here. So I'm going to take the tissue paper, and just like deli paper has a matte side and a wax side, most tissue paper that I've come across also has a matte side and a waxed side. So the wax side is what goes down on the adhesive. We want to print on the matte side. So put this on her. Just rub it down. I don't have 8x11 deli paper. I have to cut it down. So that's this definitely has some steps to it. It's a process. But because it's super thin, it doesn't take any time to cut. Get some sharp scissors and just, how you do with sewing, just kind of, it might not be easier said than done with the tissue paper, but with deli paper, you can just start a cut and then run your scissors down. But the deli paper I have is probably like 9x12. You can get as close to the edge as you want. Nice thing about this, you don't have to deal with pesky washi taping down all the edges and losing real estate. Some paper, we can print all the way to the edge if that's what your printer can do. I don't usually do tissue paper, so this is kind of getting on my nerves. with the deli paper, cutting it, this is the kind of trimmer that, the only trimmer that I found works easily to cut the deli paper from the sides. The rotary trimmers and the guillotine trimmers don't really work very well. This is just me being picky, sorry. Oh, what's wrong with me? Okay. So now we have tissue paper down on this one. And another bit of tissue paper here while we're at it. If I can get it on here straight. Line getting it wrinkled isn't too bad, you know, that kind of adds to it, but tissue paper definitely is harder to get down here than deli paper. But I wanted to get a couple pages down for you guys just so you could see the difference once we get it sealed. Let's see, where's my ruler? Maybe that'll work better for me here. Not at all. Come on, tissue paper. And this is, you guys see me struggling with this tissue paper, but in the end, it's worth it. Did I glue down? Yeah, I already put the adhesive on there. You missed that, Rachel? I put the adhesive on there. What did I do with the glue stick? Yeah, it just takes the swipes around the edges and some swipes in the middle, just to make sure we got a good stick so nothing gets lifted in the printer, because last thing we want to do is have to fish tissue paper out of our printer, you know? So, and then you give it about a minute and a half to dry. Well, yeah, it kind of feels like not chalky, but it doesn't feel tacky. So that's not how you'll know it's dry. It's just, you can barely feel it on the paper, except for spots where you might have had a lot, where you might have put a lot down, and you can just feel the texture of it, because the area is not smooth. But it's not super, it's not hardly tacky at all. Okay, so now we gotta figure out what else we want to try and print. Let's see, I have some images on here that I'm going to print because I want to show you something else with it. We did reuse the first sheet of paper. Once you put the glue down on the paper stays tacky for quite a few uses. Like, I've been able to reuse the paper at least maybe 3 or 5 times. So I'll take the paper off and put another piece of paper down on top of it and just kind of like throw it in a folder somewhere for the next time I want to print. So this is not, and that's the other nice thing, because when you use the washi tape to put down the paper, you have to cut the edges to release it all, and then you can throw the washi tape away. But with this, you reuse the paper numerous times. The only thing you have to do is trim the edges before you print. No, one page was one I glued for you guys. The other page was one that I reused. So you didn't miss anything. All right, So let's see. So we have this one, which is nice, even though you can't see too much of her shirt. I think this is gonna look really nice on paper. Have a nice little background, grungy background. Put her on, and when you put the medium down, the gel medium, this is going to become even more transparent. So yeah, it just kind of looks like that's the wall behind her. You guys know I have a lot of grungy looking wall prints. Let's see. Something like this. Really interesting. What else I got in here? Another, and this is the other one I was talking about, where I have project case full of prints that I didn't really like, but didn't want to get rid of them either, because I'm going to pretty them up one day, I guess. Those are nice ones. From old projects. Kind of like that one too. Hey, Daddy. That's my dad, y'all. Chauncey Jimerson. So many that I have in here. This isn't all of them. I have like 3 drawers filled. Oh, at my mom's house. Okay. So where was I? That was a tangent right there. We're going to figure out what we want to print on here. So I have... Yeah, Rachel, some of these were like testing something. Like this one I was using to test, I want to say crackle paint on the gel plate. And this one was probably the best one that came out of it. It was really hard to pull off all at once, but I love this print. I don't know if you can see, that's a nice little teal, turquoise, and there's like a peach color in there and then a cream color. Really like summer vibe type color palette. Alright, let me find something to print here. So a lot of times I'll buy patterns online from Etsy or Creative Market, and that's what I'm looking for, is one of the, I can't tell with it like this. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna print this one, a full page. And both of these are tissue paper, right? And I'm going to print the other one. I have 2 pages of it. So nice little borders that I found on printing. Orders that I found on Etsy. I might have printed to the wrong printer. I've actually been considering getting a color LaserJet printer. Oh, there it goes. It's really old, super slow printer, but it's a laser printer and got it for what, $15, $20? It's totally worth it. And I don't think I've changed the cartridge, and I've had it for a couple years now. Oh, I pulled it sideways. That's okay. So waiting on that to print. Yay, Rachel. Yes, cut some stencils. Gotta use Cammie or she'll start acting wild on you. Let's peel this one off. So this tissue paper, gotta peel it off a lot slower than the deli paper, especially the edges here. Come on. Okay. You want to get a new cameo, Rachel? I'm loving this Cameo 4. I don't know if it has enough force because I feel like I have to cut all my stencils twice. But just the fact of now having the Bluetooth, I'm just in love with it. And like I said, I think on the last live stream, the other Cameo, I don't know if it's because of the software or what, but I couldn't do other things on my computer when that was cutting. With this one, I can just, I don't even know I'm cutting. It's not that it's quiet, but as far as like my computer's concerned, there's no lag. I'm not hardwired to the cutter, so I have the freedom to move around. It's just so much better. But you know, like yours, it was 8 years in the waiting, so but it's totally worth it. Hey Daddy, that's Flo from school, from college. I know you met Flo before, Daddy. So this is a piece of deli paper. Like I said, it doesn't feel tacky when you pull it off, but it's there. So you just take another piece of deli paper. Mine has the fold in the middle. I know some people prefer their deli paper flat. It doesn't matter to me. And you just put some pressure on it. Make sure you get those edges. Get those edges, lay those edges down, ladies. And there you go. It's stuck. So a lot of times I'll just leave it like this and just throw it off to the side, put it in a folder. Or if I have time, I don't have anything else to do, I'll take the time and trim the edges so that all I have to do is pop it in the printer when I'm ready to print something. Like I said, this trimmer is the only one that I have that works well with cutting deli paper. And I have, like I said, I have a rotary trimmer, a heavy duty rotary trimmer, and a guillotine trimmer. So now this one is ready to be printed on. Again, and here's the other one that printed off. This tissue paper. Won't be doing this too often. Yeah, this is awesome. And even though the printer that I got was used and I got it from someone, there is a printer being sold at Best Buy and Amazon. It's an HP black and white LaserJet printer, and I think the price fluctuates between $80 and $90, and it's Bluetooth. So it's a wireless printer. You can print from your phone, and $80 for a LaserJet printer, trust me, is worth it. Because like I said, you're not going to go through ink quickly. Like one ink cartridge, it depends on how often you print, but you could probably go a whole year on an ink cartridge, just like daily office use, crafting use. It's totally worth it. So I keep going back and forth, like I want a wireless printer in my apartment, but I'm not sure if I should go with black and white or just go all the way and get a color one. The color one's like $200. So here's this one. Yay. I'm gonna stick a piece of deli paper on here just so I can get it out of the way. Yeah, this is going to be so exciting, guys, for you all. I really think you should try it. These sticks, though, I think I've only been able to find them either at Joann. I think that's the only big box store that carries them. And then you can probably find them on Amazon. But all the ones that I've purchased have been from Joann by going in the store. So I don't know if Joann's website will have them, but they might now since people, well, no, you can order online and pick up in the store or something. I don't know. Maybe call them and ask them if they have them in the stores and somehow pay over the phone. I don't know. But Joann has them. But it has to be repositionable. Okay, so these are out of the way. And so I wanted to show you an example of something I did with this. This is exactly the same thing I did right here. I took a magazine page and I actually scanned it in. I put it on my scanner and then turned it to black and white. And there's a video of me doing this, but it's the same technique. I printed it on deli paper, and then the background I have washi tape and scrapbook paper, and then stamped on the top of it. And this rose is a magazine clipping. So it looks really nice when you have some kind of pattern peeking out that's kind of like their skin, or in this case, the wall. Really nice. Guess I could hold that up. This video is lagging, so I can't see what you all can see, but this is a little closer up. But the video, I'll probably link the video in the description so that you can see the paper in use. But hopefully we'll have time to do something, even though I'm not sure what. But so the next thing I want to show you with this, because we're using a laser printer, of course you can print this on using your inkjet printer. You probably would have to wait a little while just to make sure the ink's dry. But because we're using a laser printer, we can foil this if you have a laminator or a mink machine. So, ta-da! Another project case. I have my 6-inch mink machine, and we're going to use the champagne gold, and I want to experiment with white. So I'm going to plug this up. Thanks, Rachel. I really want to start doing it more. I hesitate to do it because I'm like, want to have, you know, something in mind, like a color scheme and, you know, focal point and all the other kind of stuff. And just the thought of that kind of has me hesitating when I'm ready to do it. And so now I'm just kind of like, I need to get into the mind of just putting something on paper. I've been watching all of Dina Wakley's daily, I don't know what it is. She just kind of like uses one of her products each day or answers questions. And I absolutely love Dina's style, her personality. So she's really got me motivated to do some art journaling. And then I joined an art journaling, art journaling junkie Facebook page group. And so seeing all those has kind of got me ready to go. So let's see, I'm going to turn this on and put it up to 3 and let that warm up. And I need to cut this down. So let's see, which one do I want to do? I have this one and this one. I think I like, I don't know, I kind of like this in, well, maybe we'll just do all of them. One in white and one in gold. Okay. And I've only done deli paper, so we'll see how well tissue paper holds up to this foiling process. I imagine it will be, oh, I don't know why I did that. I knew that wasn't going to cut right. It's tissue paper. Where are my scissors? Okay. Cutting down the middle here. I'm trying, Rachel. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself. Dina, in all her videos, she's like, please stop taking yourself so seriously. Just do something. I'm like, I know, but I can't. I can't help it. Bye, Louise. Thanks for stopping by. So then after we foil these, maybe we'll take a gander at my top flight stamping haul. Rachel, you are to blame for the amount of money I spent there. Well, actually, I kept going back and forth. When you did your video about it, and I looked at the things that I wanted, they were all sold out. So then maybe sometime last week, I got notifications that they restocked a lot of the stuff, and then they had a 15% off sale. And I got a lot of stuff. You know, you go through that little dance of putting everything in your cart, and then putting some back and putting something else in there and putting something back, and finally I settled on probably about 10 things. Let's try this one. So we're going to do this. Have my foil. Hey, Lynn. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Okay. And then we're going to cut this. Just like the tissue paper, this trimmer is, for me, the best way to cut foil. That thing is hot. Make sure I have enough to cover all of it. So over a scooch. There's never enough desk space. Never enough. So we're going to put this in here. Put this on top. I said, of course, the Mink machines are more expensive than laminators, but laminators will work, and you can find one for like 30 bucks. I love gold everything, shimmer everything. Actually, I wish there was like a bronze foil. I'm coming to prefer bronze over gold, unless it's a gold like this that's kind of more matte. So we're going to send that through, and we're going to do another page. Hold on here, these are stuck together. We're done with that. I'll actually do a regular gold as well, because it does look nice. So that's done. So we're gonna hot. Pull this out. It's a little spotty. It doesn't foil as well as, I might need to bump it up a bit to 4. It doesn't foil as well as the deli paper, doesn't look like. But can you guys see that? See the shimmer of foiling the tissue paper? Very nice, and I do not throw this away because you can use it with adhesive pins and stuff like that, and sticky back paper. I'm going to bump this up one more and see if that makes a difference. Might be too hot. Might have to go down to 2. I don't know. I don't usually use tissue paper. welcome. Thanks for joining. Ooh, yes, got one already cut. Thank you. Woo. The little things, guys. It's the little things. Now what I do with the whites? There it is. Never used the white foil, so this will be a first. Isn't it great, darling? A few years ago, there's this person that I can't remember her name, but she does a lot of collaging, and she was using temporary tattoos that, I don't know if you remember, they used to be in Joann, and it was like kind of by the jewelry section, and they were like gold foiled temporary tattoos, and she was using them in her art journaling. And you know, it's kind of like the rub-ons, only they looked way better because of the pattern. You know, most rub-ons are some kind of image or words, but these were tattoos, so there were a lot of symbols, and that's kind of like what I like using. And I was like, well, I couldn't find any of the temporary tattoos. Joann stopped selling them. So I was like, well, let me see if I can foil on deli paper, and it works wonderfully. I actually have a post maybe a couple years ago on my Instagram page of where I used it on a tag. So I think we'll do that this time. I'll grab some tags and I'll just show you how they turn out with backgrounds behind them, and how the gold just pops. Even when you put gel medium over it, the gold still shines. Oh no, it's tissue paper. You have to be so careful with it. Deli paper, I'm just like ripping it off and throwing it all over the place. But I'm taking my time because I know that tissue paper definitely becomes more transparent than the deli paper. So I'm excited to see how this is going to look on a tag. So this did do a little better, and that's black because it was wrinkled. I didn't flatten it well enough. But that definitely foiled a lot better. So I didn't have the machine up high enough. So I had to put it on 4. Just so you guys know, in case you have a make machine, it should be on 4. So I feel like I'm missing a sheet. Oh, they're stuck together. Okay, this one with regular gold. Pop that in there. Take a sip of water. Okay, cut a piece of white foil. Hope this turns out well. Because I'm interested in, Dina Wakley also has tissue paper that is white on white, and so when you put it on a dark background, it kind of still gives you that tone on tone type look. The white's not like stark white, but you can still see the pattern. So I want to see if I can get the same effect with the foil. But I'm also going to try heat embossing deli paper because I have reactive ink, and I also have white deli. Also have white embossing powder. Come on. This might not be peeling off too well because it's still hot. Because even though it's low tack glue, some of it does still kind of get on the back of the paper. But if you're going to put it in an art journal or on a tag, it really doesn't matter. But I do want to peel it off because it's sticking to my carrier sheet. The glue on the carrier sheet is picking up the foil. I have a feeling some of the black is still going to show through, but it might be a nice look. Because that's the other thing, because my LaserJet printer is older, there isn't an option on there for you to adjust the output of the toner. So you want your printer to output as much toner as possible because that's what the foil is sticking to. So my printer doesn't, the cartridge in there is cheap and the printer's old, so it's not outputting a lot of ink. So it has a little spotting. But I'm okay with that. So what are you ladies up to? Pam, Darlene, are you all working? Are you crafting while you're watching? Or are you getting some chores done like Rachel so she can go out and play later? Go to her studio and play later. Got that one. That one. And this is the gold, the regular gold, which looks really nice as well. Definitely more shine. So this is going to be a cool little background image on a tag or a tattoo on maybe a magazine page. If you cut out a person or you draw someone, you can put a tattoo on them. So I have 2 champagnes, 1 gold, and let's see how the white turned out. Then we'll unplug this while that cools down a little bit. And get it out of the way. Okay. Here we go. Gardening, okay. Oh my God, guys. This white is amazing. Ah, you can't see any black at all. It's one little corner of it. Oh, do you see this? And I thought it was going to be shiny, but it's not shiny at all. It's a matte white. Do you see this? Are you as excited as I am? Can you see this, guys? That's exciting. That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that worked out. Okay. So, what are we going to do next? So we printed an image from a magazine. That was this image right here. I was a little skeptical about her shirt, but I kind of like that void that was left behind. And we printed some borders and foiled them. I think I like, oh, that was the one that wasn't hot enough. So yeah, that one, the gold and the white, I'm super excited about. I used white foil, Rachel, and I want to say I got this on clearance because I think they're getting rid of a lot of the foil, but the mink white reactive foil, and even though it's shiny in the on the roll, it's matte. It's completely matte when you foil with it. I don't see any. I don't think I see any shine on here. Nope, no shine at all, which I love. You know I love matte. So we're going to put that on a tag and see what kind of magic that has in store for us. Okay. I need to move some of this stuff. I said I don't have a lot of real estate here. Oh, we didn't do the pattern. I might do that. I might just take a picture of that and post it later. Yeah, who knew, Rachel? That's why you got to experiment with your stuff. Because I've had this foil sitting around for a while. And I got it. Like I said, it was probably on clearance, and that's why I grabbed it. Because I'm like, why not? But it wasn't until maybe last week, watching Dina Wakely's video, and she was using her white on white collage paper. And I was like, light bulb. Put these back. And I printed off quite a few last night. Like I said, this one was the first one I tried on tissue paper. This was a design I bought off of Creative Market. And then I printed it smaller. I'll peel that off. So I might end up using this. Come on. Ooh. This is also tissue paper, which is why it's giving me a hard time. Oh, shoot. Thanks, Rachel. Yes, someone who, you know, we do a lot of gel printing, so we have a lot of nice backgrounds, and, you know, you don't want to lose those. So I really like being able to put an image on top without having to worry about cutting it all the way, and to avoid having the white space on there. When you have it on deli paper or tissue paper, you don't have to worry about that. Because just all that would have been white space on a white piece of paper just disappears in the background. And all you left is with the black part. And you can continue to see your background. So that's tissue paper. All these tissue papers. These are also images that are printed. I figured this would be nice if you had a image. Now you would need a solid image for this so it can seem like it's a halo around their head. So if you were to, like, this is printed on paper. If I were to cut her out, it's actually not big enough. I printed some bigger ones too. These are also from Creative Market. Oh, I meant to foil these. I printed these off. This is the same digital pack. The guy had some that are just, he put them in one file, but you actually get these in each row in a separate file. And then he made what he called frames. He or she. I think it's the guy that made this, but the frames. And so they're nice little halos. Cut this out real quickly. Except top of her head was cut off, so that's might look a little strange for this example, but just so you can get a visual of what I'm saying here. Oh, you have this one, Rachel, with the, I think it was called like tribal marks or something. So then, let's see. I think I like, which one? No, I think I like that one. So then, and you might want to just keep some of these on their carrier sheets because, you know, they are still a little sticky, a little tacky because the glue transfers onto the back of them. But, you know, it's just printer paper. You know, if you don't print a whole lot of them, you're not going to miss that paper. Off to the side. So then you have this. Let's see. This is some gorgeous tissue paper that I got from a Joggles order. They always wrap their orders in such beautiful paper. So then you can kind of have a little background like that. She's kind of double crowned here with her head wrap and the sun behind her. No, maybe I'll cut this. I hate to lose that part of her hair wrap. Maybe cut in here so it's not as straight. I don't know. But yeah. Something like that, maybe, in a journal. Yeah, Pam, Joggles gives some wonderful tissue paper. When I opened the package, I think my alcohol inks were wrapped in this. I was, for a few minutes, more excited about the tissue paper than I was the alcohol inks. And then I neatly folded it up and squirreled it away. So yeah, this I think looks nice in a background. Let's see. I don't have a whole lot of roll-off paper. Just what I had from my last video. Thanks, Flo. Okay. So, I print out quite a few things. I actually have a digital paper pack of some patterns I made from stamps I carved. So I printed some of those out so that maybe, because this is deli paper, we can print on this, maybe do some gel printing on this with transparent colors. Yep, shameless plug. This is my paper pack of my carved stamps. My patterns, I love them. I actually print them out and use them to make note cards and cards to send things in. So we'll use these and print on them. Because there isn't as much open space, it's kind of hard to see the pattern of the paper beneath it, but that's those. And then I think I got a paper pack, a pattern collection off of Etsy that had this in it, or it might have been Creative Market. So I printed these out. So I think these would be nice to have in the background somewhere. And I made it smaller. And then this is, I took a copy of a page out of a shorthand book, just so use that as a background. And then a map from the digital library, New York Library Digital something. You could probably Google it. It's an online archive of just some of everything. These are old maps of Chicago. I don't think that, oh, this says 1853, and this is the World Fair, Chicago and the World Fair, and down in the bottom it says 1893. And then another map. And so I also printed them on just regular copy paper, so that I could print on them. Because I post a lot of pictures on Instagram, and I posted a picture of a piece of paper that I found that I printed on. I think it was this image, and it just had a nice little swatch of what is it? The yellow. Why can't I think of it? It had a nice little swatch of that on it, and so it looks nice. So I'm going to do that some more. So we got all these. Thanks, Rachel. I'm trying to get motivated to carve some more stamps so that I can make some more patterns. Those are the type of stamps I love carving, the ones that can be used to make repeated patterns. Like this stamp is actually just like this big, and I just repeated it across the page. Like none of my stamps were bigger than maybe a couple of inches, and I just love how they repeat. This stamp was actually this one block, and I just rotated it to fit it all together. This is one of my favorite papers. And then this one. This also is just like one little triangle. Oh no, it's not a triangle, it's got 4 sides to it. But rotating it and sticking it together, it repeats very nicely, if I do say so myself. So I don't know, let's see, let's get some tags so you guys can see how this stuff looks. Yes, I stamp the stamp on a white piece of paper, on a piece of printer paper, and then I scan it in, and then in Pixelmator, or I also have, I might have done it in Illustrator, but either way, in some photo editor, I fit it together and then just duplicate it across the page. So they're not actually like technically repeat patterns, so you couldn't like use them for tiling in like your computer background or anything like that. They're not a perfect repeat pattern, but when I make the pattern, it's for a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So it's more of like for scrapbooking than it is for a background for your computer screen or something like that. Okay. Oh, sorry, Susie. No one had said anything. I can turn it down. Actually, it'd be best to turn it off. I don't have, I don't think it goes any lower. Okay. So I actually have a journal that I could see about putting that in. Even though I have bigger journals, I don't really work in them. I don't like, I don't feel comfortable working this large, in this large of a size. Let's see if it'll fit in this one. No. I mean, it'll just barely, but it does. Thanks, Susie. I decided to make some more prints on deli paper last night because I've kind of gotten the urge to do some art journaling. So having these printed out ahead of time kind of makes it easy. I just have to come up with a colorful background kind of, and then I can just kind of collage some images over it. Yes, darling, they are on my Etsy page. You should be able to see it on the first page of items listed, but I have sections, and it'll be in the digital paper section or whatever it is. It says digital on there. So let's cut this out. I've had this journal for forever. Haven't used a single page, so you guys can help me break this in. Let's see, this one has the white burlap, and it's kind of muslin one. I think I want it on the white background though. Let's do it on this side. I like working on the right side better to start with. So I'm going to cut this out, and because it's deli paper, you don't have to be so precise with cutting it because it'll kind of blend in with the background. Yes, Susie, that the sheerness of this deli paper is awesome when it comes to printing on it. And I also tried tissue paper, printing on the tissue paper for the first time today, and that worked out great as well. And I believe the tissue paper will kind of disappear even better than the deli paper because it's thinner. Maybe I'll cut out this middle part too, just because. So that'll fit there. Move it down some because I think I want her, or if I put her there, maybe I'll put some kind of saying right there. And then we have to think of some colors to go in the background. What kind of colors would we use? Got that. That's nice. These were actually picked out for something else I was going to do, and I never got around to it. So Sedona, Olive, and Night. Some of my favorite colors. And then some stencils. Let's see. Nothing too busy because we already have the halo around her head. Maybe what do you guys think? Just something, maybe I won't go so dark with these colors. Maybe I'll do her head wrap in the Sedona. Or yeah, I can just use the colors for her clothes and keep the background really light. Maybe a lighter blue or a gray, just so it doesn't pull away from it too much. Maybe this, the morning mist in the background, and her hair and her head wrap and her shirt in the other colors. I feel like I want some color in her face, but let me see, where's that's right, this one's not on deli paper. Maybe I should have printed her on some brown paper too. Where is her? I had some more brown film. Stuff's right in front of my face and I'm not seeing it. Just to get some colors to her. Maybe I'll stamp one of these. color actually in here? What? This is when the journaling is just rough because I'm just indecisive. I'll just put this down and then I'll put some color down and we'll get some background in here. I need to layer it on here. Just a little bit of background. So used to put my hand on it. So used to working. Where's my palette? That's what I'll do. Switching gears, pulling out paint. So I need my gel plate so I can use it as a palette. Because this is taking up too much space. Okay. Here we go. The gears have been switched. We're ready for paint. Go. This is Morning Mist by Handmade Modern, the Target brand of paint, craft paint. I'm just going to put some paint on the background here. Just braid some onto the back here. And this paper is, I guess, a cotton paper, so you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it has nice little ridges in there, texture on it. All right, got some color on the background. Done with that. Let's see. What do I have plugged in here? I need my heat gun. Sorry for the noise. Alrighty, and we'll see how that's looking so far. So then I want to get some blue in there, maybe blue, maybe olive. Maybe some Sedona in the background. What do you guys think? Should Sedona go in the background on top of the Morning Mist? And then her shirt can be blue and the head wrap olive. What do you guys think? I can never tell how loud this stuff is for you guys. I'm used to working with noise. I have to have music going in the background, stuff like that. I think the music is so loud for you guys is because I'm also using the mic on my MacBook, and that's where I'm playing the music from too. So it's kind of like right there for you guys. So I might have to play music from something else a little closer to me and further away from you all. But just, let's see. So what would we want? Gotta have that pop of color. That's the Sedona. I love the Sedona. I love olive. Like, these are my favorite Dina Wakley colors. Olive, Sedona, and Night. Flo, you got a sense of design there. Some sense of design. Let's see. Let's just go for it. Let's put Night in the background. And we'll use, wish I just had a slightly darker color, but not. Maybe something like this. I never got around to printing out all of my, cutting all of the stencils that I want to use. This is as far as I got. So this is a green that's not going to stand out very much. I'll do blue. I'll do Night. We'll just see how it turns out. Just really might have wanted to use Payne's Gray, but that's okay. Stencil, stencil, stencil. Ooh, the sun's moved around and now it's on my neck. But I'm glad it's out. Okay. What is that? we're going to give this a quick dry. And maybe some scribbling. Here's my I think I want the thin marker. I also have, it's one of my favorite Posca colors, slate gray. Amazing. Oh, and this one, blue navy. Only able to find it in one size. So let's see. Got a scrap piece of paper around here. Let's see the weight on these. It has more of a greenish tint to it, I think. So I won't use that one. Oh, I haven't primed this one. That's 3. This is 1. I think I might want something a little thicker. Thanks for the likes, guys. Oh yeah, I had to get these in other weights because it's just how I am. The weight can really add to a piece. So I think I want to go with the blue and not the black. Do I like that small one? When I do the semic writing, even though what I'm writing doesn't make any sense, you can't read it, I still like to think. I like to put the thoughts in there. It's kind of like how people will write something legible and then cover over it with paint so that the thoughts are still there. I don't know, is that weird? Okay. Slate gray, my favorite. Okay. I think that's something right here. What did we do? We did gold. The white, maybe we'll do that on tag. Try the white on a tag. I'm going to glue this down with some matte medium. Matte gel medium. I don't know. Might need to put a little white on the background that I made. Come on, get in there. Stick down. Okay. I think that's okay. That should be all of it. Okay, probably go around the outside of it just to give it a shadow with, where's my pencil? Is it over here? It's the hard part about it disappearing. It's hard to notice which parts aren't stuck all the way down. Some parts sticking up here. I think I missed a little section there. But oh well. that's that. I think that looks pretty good. Where did my girl go? So then we have this. I think I kind of want to make a shadow just to bring this out. Separate it from the background. Now if I could just find, don't remember the last time I art journaled, so these art journal staples, like your little pencil that's water soluble pencils. Not sure I have it. Give me just a second. Fortunately, I have my travel case with me here that I take with me to my meetups. So my Derwent Inktense Ink Black pencil is in there. So I'm just going to go around the outside of this. And then my water brush. I'll go. Intense, very intense. Probably should have used, I think I have it in Payne's Gray. That's probably what I should have looked for. I didn't want to keep you guys waiting. Hi, Silent Surrender. Yeah, I just like to think certain thoughts when I write this stuff down. Think of someone or some type of affirmation that's trying to focus on. And I believe Inktense pencils, I don't know, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they dry permanent. But this is pretty much the last layer, so I'm not worried about anything moving. But I really prefer using things that are pretty permanent because I don't have time to wonder, is this gonna move later? And then put her in here. Welcome back, Rachel. This being printer paper, it's kind of wrinkling. Getting kind of wrinkly. And then because this was also printed with the laser printer, you don't have to worry about the ink moving. Got some bubbles in there. Okay. Now the next question is, do I have any gesso? Because I'm afraid I want to kind of wash her wrap and her shirt with acrylic, the paint, but I don't think it's going to move. The gel medium should kind of put a barrier down, so we'll see. Okay. A wash of paints. Just pulling everything out of my travel pack. This is, you know how you have the big palette papers? I cut it down and did a quick bind with it with PVA glue on the side and stuck it to, I cut them all the same size, the palette paper and this cardboard, and did a quick bind on the side. So now I have a little mini palette pad to take with me when I go to my meetups. Okay, I kind of really don't want to use this brush. Got some dirty water. The same color. That should work. I'm just gonna paint this with this acrylic paint. So a wash of Sedona. million watercolors. Of course, I'm gonna pull out my acrylic. Okay. Okay. Got this still over here. Gotta pick it up. I'm stuck on the brush here. Okay. I think I can never remember which of my paint brushes are for what, but I try to get all mixed media paintbrushes. Let me clean these out. Okay. Now, what are we gonna do down here? Maybe I think I'll just paint that. It's really not a focus. I'll just paint it blue. Real quick there. And this, I don't know. Oh, okay. Glaze for what? The coloring the wrap in her clothes. But those are embossing powders, right? He did. And for her face, gotta get some color there. Color to her face. Oh, what are my browns? The Sedona. Oh, my browns are like metallics. See, I got a small case of Arteza acrylics here. Let's see, this one is black. Burnt sienna. Burnt umber. I think that might be what I'm going to end up going with, one of those. Not much of a, I don't want to use this. What am I doing? Not much on painting faces, but I'm giving it a go. That's too red. Add a smidge of burnt umber to that. Usually don't paint faces and I don't want to take the time to put in shadows and stuff like that. This brown is crazy because all the textures from the gel medium building up on here. Hey, Pat. It's not a flat surface. So this isn't going on here evenly. Concentrating on coloring. Okay. Oh yeah, Pat, that's the only reason why I'm doing this page. The actual thing that I was focusing on was printing her, not this one, but I printed on deli paper, her on deli paper as well as regular copy paper. And then I printed this frame, this halo sun type mandala on deli paper, or this one might have been tissue paper. I tried both deli paper and tissue paper. And I think this color is not going to stay because I really needed to have gessoed this. Okay, I feel like it needs something else. I think I'm done struggling with coloring her face. Oh, forgive me. Like, part of me wants to get this green in here, but I might end up regretting that. I feel like a pop of green needs to be somewhere on here. You're welcome, Pat. I'm thankful that you guys are hanging out with me. Let's see. Maybe just a smidge of green somewhere. Just a smidge. Maybe just some swatches of it. Let's see. There's my plate. Oh, my sister's on. She's not lurking. Darcy. Got a couple Jimersons in the house. Oh, let's see. Maybe I'll take the same pattern. This is what I'm trying to tell myself. Don't take myself too seriously. It's just a journal page. None of this stuff probably costs a total, more than a couple dollars. Don't take it too seriously. There we go. Get something to block her face. Okay, that's that. I need something to roll this off onto. Gonna edge this in something. And white. I got some white Posca pens, but they are never as opaque as really hard to find a really, really opaque white pen. I need a piece of paper under this. Never quite as white. I'll let that dry and I'll hit it a second time on the edges there. Just to darken the edges up. Nice little frame to it. Over here. Okay. And let's see, I do have some sentiments somewhere in a book. Oh, these are the ones with these have some phrases too. How about this a while ago? Online. If anything, maybe I have to. I don't have my letter stamps. Something about a crown would be nice. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. See what color these are. Green. I think I got enough blue and green. Oh. Okay, that's the same color. Okay. One of these. Protect your magic. What you seek is seeking you. That's nice. Find your balance. Yeah, I like this green too. All came together quite nicely. Thankfully. You all didn't sit here for nothing. Give yourself permission. Take your time. These are nice. I don't think I went through these before. Be gentle with yourself. quieter you become, the more you can hear. Oh, the sun's starting to come. Sorry, guys, I didn't notice. Sun snuck around on me there. I think I will go with, what was it? Dare to be powerful. Be your own hero. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. I think I liked that one. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. And get the sun out of the way so you guys can see. So that is that, I think. I don't think I want to put any more on here. That's coming up, so I might have to give it a little extra help here. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. Why is this so watered down? There you go. All right. And I think that's it for that. And journal page. Didn't see that coming. Okay, so I showed that. Now it's just the show and tell for my stamps. Thanks, guys, for sitting through this. That was a struggle. But I'm trying to start journaling more, doing art journaling more. So it's got to happen, right? Got to keep working at it. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. So here we have some goodies from Top Flight Stamps. Thank you, Rachel, for putting me onto this. Oh, I guess I should show you guys this a little closer. You're kind of far off, huh? I don't know how well you all are seeing this. Okay. So yes, Top Flight Stamps. I'm not a pin collector really, but I think I have a few of them. So they put a little pin in here for the collectors out there. Sorry if things are off frame. The lag in the video. By the time it shows up for you all, I've moved on. But here's a background stamp. I guess it's supposed to mimic wood grain. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's just mixed media background. It's the denim series from Studio Light. So that's cool. Got some stamps from never had heard of this company before. It's French. Urban something. So it's got kind of a grungy type pattern to it. Some text. Text is always nice. A little bubble wrap stamp. I like getting some of these little stamps, so whenever we're able to go back out and get in groups, when I can start my meetups back up, carrying these smaller stamps are a lot easier. Some more grunginess. This would be nice to go behind a focal point, I think. Even fussy cut it and or the background on when I got it, I was thinking of cards, then put it as a focal point on the card and then put something sentiment over it, nice and simple. Is this out of focus, guys? Let me know. Because I'm showing you all stuff and you might not be seeing it very well. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I actually like this journal spread. That's the reason why I stopped doing them so much, because I was like, oh, I hate these journal spreads. But since then, years have passed since I've done my journal spreads, and I think I've kind of figured out my style, and that kind of helped. I think today is that I've come more into my style. So both of those were the French company Les Urban de Manuela. This one is where is it? This one's called The City. And this one is The Essentials. Stampology, The City, and Geometry, The Essentials. And this one's by Indigo Blue, and it's called Bubble Wrap. And then I got a few of the Paper Artsy mini stamps. The sun is killing me right now. You guys can't see anything, can you? Okay, this Paper Artsy Eclectica design is by Tracy Scott, and it's kind of like a bubble wrap type design, but the dots are a lot bigger. There we go, I'll just take them out. So that'll be fun. This one, super small as well. It's by Seth Apter. This is one of the ones I saw Rachel with, I believe, right? These just have numbers. I don't think they have actual names to them. This is EM41 by Seth Apter. I cannot believe I'm going on 3 hours. Thanks for sticking around, guys. This is also, I believe, by Seth Apter. EM47. I'll link them in the description box after we get off. And then I love all create. So this one is called Squared Digits by All in Create. It's also kind of a tiny one. It's my Pippa. So nice little circles and numbers. Love circles and numbers. I have this stencil. It's bigger than this, but I love this design. This one is called Tile Pile. So the stencil is maybe about 1.5 inches on each side, bigger than this stamp. But I love it. Love this stencil. So I had to get the stamp. And this one's called Crack Up. Nice little background pattern to have. And the last stamp is this one. And I believe I've seen this pattern in one of the digital paper packs that I purchased off of Creative Market. So I just realized that last night while I was printing out stuff. So yeah, I guess it's good I got this stamp too. But love the kind of African pattern, mud cloth pattern. Can use for a background. And the last thing I got was a stencil. I don't think I can buy from any art store online without getting a stencil. So this stencil is by Pronti, the Jolanda de Ronde stencil. And it's called Grunge Squares. So that's nice there. Gonna have to print with this over the weekend. Love a nice grunge abstract stencil pattern. So I think that's all I had planned to do, was to go over, show you guys how to print on deli paper with a laser printer. Oh, I didn't show the white deli paper. Let's do that one last thing real quick. And then I will go and eat. Tag. And paper all over the place. Oh no. Avalanche. Okay. Let's do a brown tag. A lot of times I think she does it just on a dark colored background. Dark colored background. Let's see. That would not be dark. Where did I move those gel prints? Well, we can just try on this. I think this is a roll-off page from something. Maybe I put a tag shape out of here. Yeah, I'll just put it on here. I don't know. Okay. What's this? Basically 3 by 6 1/4. And a smidge it was. Okay. Oh, too short. Okay. Ooh, that's a nice little swatch there. I don't have my hole puncher here. Oh well. So a little tag. Gonna just put a little white background on there. No cute little perfect edges. Not here. No way. I think I want it to go up and down like this on a longer piece. And just glue that on here. Handy dandy gel medium. Did I print this on tissue paper, I think? I can't remember. Guys, do you remember where I printed this on? Gotta push it down, but it's slowly disappearing a little bit. Oh, great, Rachel. Hope you have fun doing in your studio, organizing. I like organizing. When I can't bring myself to do any art, I organize. Slowly disappearing in the background there. Put a little pressure on there and squeegee out some of the gel medium, and it slowly kind of disappears. Guys, I love this. This is working wonderfully. Look at that. For those who weren't on earlier, I took a digital paper, printed it on, I believe this is tissue paper. Printed it on tissue paper. Then I put white foiling on it with using the Mink machine. And can you guys see that? I really like how that looks. It doesn't fade completely, but it's got a nice look to it. I'll post pictures on Instagram. For those who don't know my name on Instagram, it's the same as my YouTube page, Creations by J. Cherie. And that is nice. I like that. All right, Susie, thanks for going back and watching the replay when this is over. And I love sharing, so no problem. All right, everyone, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining. This was kind of long. I'm surprised I went this long, almost exactly 3 hours. I'm at 2 hours and 57 minutes. Didn't do any gel printing. That was a surprise. I expected to gel print, not do a whole journal page. But I'm glad you guys stuck in there with me. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll link the stamps and stencil that I bought in the comments below. And I'll post pictures, better pictures of the journal page and the tag. Maybe I'll finish the tag off on Instagram. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, Pat. Bye, Susie. Rachel. Who else is still on here? Silent Surrender. Flo. Lynn. Bye. Daddy, you probably still on here. Darcy. Thanks for stopping. Bye. Thanks for the likes. Bye, Darlene. Thanks for the likes, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.